Wrestling fans, thanks for clicking today's Dreaded Heroes report. Alright, WWE's website's got a new poll up asking fans about which SummerSlam match are you really looking forward to? What are you excited about? It's kind of strange, but there was about 18,000 votes. 53% voted for Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. It drops down a lot from there on. Brie Bella versus Stephanie McMahon and Dean Ambrose taking on Seth Rollins are tied at 15%. Roman Reigns and versus Randy Orton got to 7%, while other matches got maybe like 2 or 3%. Now you know why Brock is brought in, and The Rock is brought in for pay-per-view, and whoever is brought in for pay-per-views to get the numbers up. Well, if it wasn't for their match, I don't know if anybody would buy their pay-per-view this month. Alright, I don't know, Randy Orton might be getting kind of burnt out on him. I mean, you can only do so much after years and years of being there. The fact you can find some new wrestling moves, that'd be nice. Variety reports that WWE Studios' next action movie is going to be called Lockdown. It's going to be featuring Dean Ambrose in the starring role, believe it or not. And this is the second movie under the new six-pack WWE Studios and Lionsgate deal. Production starts this month. The movie's going to be directed by Stephen Reynolds of Tomb Raider: The Ascension, which I've never seen. Written by Nathan Brooks and Bobby Lee Darby of WWE's See No Evil 2. I haven't watched that yet, too. I got that over there. Lockdown tells the story of a police officer who finds himself trapped inside his own precinct and hunted after crooked cops stop at nothing to recover incriminating evidence of an illegal activities against those closest to him. That might be a good movie. I still like to see him in a just a crazy guy role. WWE Studios head Michael Lucy said of Lockdown, Lockdown will continue to energize and excite the high level of adrenaline fans that have come to expect from our films. The high adrenaline fans. I don't know. I'm looking for the 911 follow-up. Don't forget the name of it. Anyway, the teams of Simon Gotch and Aiden English and Sin Cara taking on Callistico. Won matches at last night's WWE Ascension episode to advance to the next tournament round to crown, who's going to be #1 contenders to the Ascension, which is the champs. Next week's episode will feature Aiden and Gotch taking on Enzo Amore and Big Cass, plus Sami Zayn and Adam Rose taking on Callistico and Sin Cara in a tournament matches also. Oh, and anyway, Bayley defeated Sasha Banks on last night's NXT episode to become #1 contender. She's going to be facing NXT Women's Champion Charlotte at TakeOver 2 on September 11th, which TakeOver 1 was a very good show. Hopefully you got the network. And it's $9.99 if you don't know that by now. Anyway, former WWE and WCW star Conan will be having his left hip replaced next week after Triple H's Triple Mania event. He's also having some work done on his right hip, which was replaced several years ago. I don't know if they still put the titanium in or what they replaced the hips with, but apparently the right hip must need some adjusting, maybe. WWE's official reportedly they kind of just gave up on Bo Dallas, I guess. That explains why his winning streak was ended by R-Truth a few weeks back. Noted before that Bo was one of the gimmicks that Vince McMahon lost interest in. I thought he was getting kind of funny there for a while. I mean, just, kind of laughing at him or something, but I don't know, you're kind of stuck in a mid-card if we're going to be like a comedy thing. Good wrestler, though. Xavier Woods, he was asked on Twitter, when is the new Nation of Domination stable? When's it going to be debuting on WWE TV? He replied, he says, no clue, I'm not a part of it. But if I did have a group, then I would use our intelligence as the focus rather than our race. TNA has announced the following for next week's Hardcore Justice themed episode of Impact Wrestling, which is going to be the first Wednesday night. I'll remind you, maybe Tuesday. Well, I'll remind you, maybe Wednesday. That it's on tonight. Anyway, Dixie Carter is going to be interviewed by Mike Tenay about going through a table. Well, you just put Mike Tenay through a table and you won't have to tell him anything. He'll know. Low-Ki or Low-Ki, whatever, taking on Samoa Joe for the X Division title, and 6 sides of steel to determine #1 contenders for the World Heavyweight title. Bram versus Abyss in a Stairway to Janus match. While TNA has no live events announced for September 7th, apparently they do have some listed in on their internal books, as some of TNA's wrestlers have been at least a few live event bookings for cities after the 7th, September 7th. For some reason, the dates aren't announced and tickets aren't for sale yet. We'll wait till the last minute, I guess. Of course, the TV show being renewed would be a nice platform for advertising their events. TNA has given wrestlers notice on dates because talent under contract are now allowed to take outside bookings, but TNA gets the first call. So if you want to go wrestle somewhere else, okay, just don't interfere with us. And WWE taped the following matches for tonight's SmackDown. This is not a spoiler. Don't do anything. Hey, Dean Ambrose taking on Cesaro. Dolph Ziggler taking on Titus O'Neil. Mark Henry taking on Luke Harper. Eva Marie taking on AJ Lee. Jack Swagger versus Bo Dallas. Roman Reigns taking on The Miz. I would like to see Reigns in action movies, sort of like movies that The Rock does. I think he'd be good at it. And happy birthday to TNA announcer, the Professor, Mike Tenay, 60 years old, CZW regular Ruckus 36. Thanks for clicking, you guys. Have a safe weekend. I gotta go.